That's a good
Yeah.
question. That's a good question. I don't think I will ever consider myself an actor.
Hello and welcome back to Everything in Between podcast number 27. Today we have the actor AFONSO Lagarto. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Pleasure.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Um, so, Afonso, before we start asking you some questions,
Yeah.
would you give us like a brief description on your career and like what you do, please?
Yeah, sure. So currently I'm 34, and I started acting when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14. I mean, my father is an actor, so I grew up with him and going to the shows and watching him do every series and everything. He is quite a famous and big actor here, so it was nice to grow up in that universe already. So it made me want to do it, I think. But then I went to study. So I only started like around 2004. I took two courses in acting here. I took the National Superior School, and then I started working. So for like the past 10 years, 11 years, I've been working uh, as much as I can here in Portugal.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So we've all got a few questions for you. Who wants to go first, please?
let's go.
Yeah.
Do you want me to
I'll go
start?
first,
Okay, go on then.
actually, if that's all right. Yeah. What was it like growing up uh, in the industry? Because you said your dad's a famous actor.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was different from most of the other kids that were with me in school because we went to a restaurant, everyone looked at us. Sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't. But actually, my father is not that famous actor because he doesn't like to show up too much. So it's quite reserved. So he doesn't go on TV shows like those commercial things. He's quite reserved, but he's a big, he's an old actor, so he got quite a few years of experience. So yeah, but that was mostly it. But then I think I started falling in love with what he was doing, mostly on backstage because I went to his shows and I would sit on his dressing room or I would watch the play from backstage, and that would I would be fascinated with it. And then when once I chose to start doing it, I mean, I started like when I was three. I did like this movie when I was 3 years old, but it was like funny because they needed a kid. My father was in the film, and it just brought me over, and that doesn't count. But then I did another one when I was 12, so I got to experience a little bit of doing it, and I was shitty. I mean, of course, because I was a kid. I was trying
yeah.
to be, and then I just choose to do it, and I went to school. And always like a little bit of that thing that hunts you when your father is successful doing something and you end up following him. And in acting or in arts, that happens a lot. And it's always like people start comparing, or they ask, are you afraid of, I mean, your father is big. Do you want to be like him? Do you have that responsibility? But then I think over the past 10 years, I found my place and I kind of stood apart from him. So it was like the balance is great. It was amazing because I learned a lot with him, watching him do his job. And that influenced me a lot because I chose it. But I have a brother and a sister. They don't do nothing like this.
Oh,
They didn't went that way.
right. So you got
Not
the acting bug then.
what?
So you got the acting bug, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got it.
um, Callum, do you want to go or do you want me to go, mate?
Yeah, I'll go. What would be your dream role out of anything you could do?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I thought a lot about it. In the fact, in this 10 years I've been working, I kind of grew up a lot, and I had a lot of expectations about this, and I dreamt a lot of what I wanted to do, and I wanted to go abroad, and I wanted to do this and that, movies and everything. But you kind of get that reality check once you pass like the first 5 years of this. especially here in Portugal, because it's kind of hard because the market is really short. You don't have a lot of cultural investment from the states, so people don't. It's like a kind of an elite to go to the theaters, and I mean it's not a commercial thing, so you don't have that much opportunities here for an actor, and you have a lot of actors trying to do stuff, so you don't get the role you desire almost never. It's like you have to try a lot. You have to go like 5 years before I did my first like big thing, I think. And then you kind of have to go step by step. But of course, I dreamt a lot of great roles I could do. I don't know. I always like the bad guys. It's
Yeah.
challenging, and I always do the bad guys because I don't know why my looks are like I don't know. They kind of think that I'm a bad guy. I'm not. I'm a pretty sensible and cheesy guy. But they always like call me up for the bad guy roles, and I love it. I love to be like the killer, or not the killer
Yeah.
because that's too hardcore, but I like it. And I've done some like the drunk guy or the stoned or whatever.
Yeah. So you say you've done like all these roles and that. Which would you say like which one was the one that's marked you the most? You think like performance wise?
Uh, I mean, in all of the areas, I've done theater, movies, and TV. Um, I guess the one that stood out was the one a TV show that we had here about the 80s rock and roll scene in Portugal. It was called Filhos do Rock. I don't know if they got that anywhere else in maybe they sold it somewhere in Europe and
Yeah.
you maybe I don't know. But anyway, it's available online on RTP Play. It's called Os Filhos do Rock, and it's a TV show. How do you say de época?
It's
Uh,
like from the certain
it's
time.
time, yeah, it's time.
Certain era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's from the 70s, a period of the 70s, 80s, and 90s here, where the rock like, kind of grew a lot. And I played this historic character. That is like one of the most amazing singer songwriters that we have here in Portugal. It's called Jorge Palma. That's like a big one. It's like Bob Dylan from Portugal.
Wow.
So I did his role. So I was playing him when that story happened, and he was part of that story. So it was pretty big, and I got to play as well because I can play guitar and I sing, and I got to have two scenes where I was live performing, singing and playing guitar, and that got on the show, and they loved it, and everyone was crazy about it, and it was like still today it was I think it was like 2010, so 10 years ago. Still today people talk about that, and it's cool. It was one of the big ones I did, I think.
Right. Go on then, Jack. You've got one now.
Yeah, I've always wanted to ask actors this question, but what do you see movies or TV shows differently when because you're an actor, do you watch something and do you analyze it
Yeah,
differently?
definitely. That's a good
Yeah,
question. That's a good question because we always think about that, and that is actually that is something that I don't enjoy that much because I mean it's automatic. We cannot see that differently.
right.
Like you, I don't know, like someone who's not that attached and implied in the TV business. Obviously, I look at the show and sometimes I miss a lot of things that are going on in the episode because I'm checking out some other stuff, and we would maybe sometimes we stop, we pause, and we start talking. Me and my girlfriend, we start talking about he's like doing this thing with his look. What does that
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, we kind of interpret everything, and not only the acting but everything else like costumes or lightning or because yeah obviously because we know how what's going on behind the camera. I mean
Mm.
that's the picture I have every time I'm on the other side of the camera, so I'm kind of imagining what the actor was feeling in that particular moment because I knew that there was a camera crew and around him. So yeah, definitely it's kind of rare when I can put that aside and just watch the
I
show.
was just gonna say, is it hard to do that basically? Like, is it hard to distance yourself when you and just like try and enjoy something? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, if it is a good show, like a good show, I think that will happen.
okay,
I mean, it will draw me into the show, so I will be like, I will forget about everything. But if it's normally we detect the errors more than we emphasize the other stuff. So if it's going okay, I'm like, I can like dig in a show and be like, what the fuck? I'm like that with a lot of shows,
yeah,
and see it again and and get out of the couch and. But when there's something wrong or there's something that's not quite like that is noticeable. So that I will notice that.
mm,
But yeah, it's hard to do that.
yeah. I can imagine.
Wait, now that we're talking about this, what do you prefer, like TV shows or movies? What's one you like watching the most? Then, do you not have a preference?
I kind of changed my mind on that subject recently. I was not the series guy. I was not the TV shows guys. I have Netflix for like 2 years. I don't know, just for the last 2 years. So I was definitely a movie guy. I thought that I thought it was boring to be like 10 episodes and then another season of 10 and okay, it's enough. And
Yeah,
a movie is like wrapped in that 1.5 hour, 2 hours. That's your story. So you see it and then you just think about it. So I was this guy, but then something changed my mind, and there's a lot of good stuff coming. And I mean, I watched Stranger Things last year. This I don't know. The last season was last year. Yeah. I don't know.
the
The,
third.
the
Yeah, it was the third
kinds of
one. Yeah,
shows that I like started to make me understand the TV shows. And I never watched Game of Thrones, for example.
Mm.
Never like until last year. Then my girlfriend just made me watch it all, and I watched it all, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I get this." I was a fan. I was like rooting for someone, in
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I kind of understood the TV show. So now I don't know.
yeah. You don't have a
I'm
preference.
divided. Yeah, I watch
Fair
both.
enough. Go on, Callum.
I got now I like I see a lot of documentaries. That's the new thing. Sometimes I want to watch a movie, but I end up watching a documentary.
Yeah,
I'm the same
Netflix.
actually. I'm a big documentary watcher myself, so I know how you feel.
Netflix is producing some great ones recently as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in love with Netflix. That's my company at
go-to. Yeah,
everything. During quarantine, I was like all on Netflix.
it made
I,
quarantine a little less harder, I think. So
Yeah.
Netflix, honestly.
yeah,
That and
absolutely.
music. I also was into music. I bought this microphone. I bought a new guitar. So I just spent money and okay, I'm gonna be in the home for 2 months or so or more. Let me just enjoy this
Tr-
place.
Yeah,
Jack's fallen in love with you now.
yeah. You like everything Jack does.
Yeah, you do. You're saying all the right words.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Go on, Callum. Ask
Right.
yours
So,
now,
do
mate.
you have any inspirations when it comes to acting?
Inspiration like other actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, my father, obviously, as I mentioned, um, but he's an inspiration. But we never we it's rare that we have a talk about it. Not usually we don't have a lot of talks about acting. So I never learned from talking to him a lot because I don't know. We kind of made that two different paths. I don't know. We
Yeah,
didn't share that much, just some stuff. But I learned a lot looking and watching him and observing and but then I don't know. I grew up, of course, and I watched my own stuff, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to choose, but um, I don't know. All the I love action movies and thrillers and that kind of stuff. So horror movies and I don't know. Horror movies are a bit more extreme, but I don't know. It's kind of hard question.
It is.
yeah.
I love the old guys, of course, like Robert De Niro and Al
Mm.
Pacino. Those are like obviously. I didn't want to go to the obvious ones, but
You have to
I mean,
sometimes with it.
there's no way to go over him
Yeah.
over. There. So all those guys, I grew up watching that Godfather, and I don't know. I love Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
another kind of guy, but I love him too. I watched the Ace Ventura endlessly. Uh,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, I watched his movies, but I mean, it's just inspiration for kind of the characters that I like to explore. They are like really plastic, you know. Their
Mhm.
faces transform, and their voices, and that's quite a that's a good characteristic for an actor. I mean, if you do
Absolutely.
that, you can do it all. You can see Jim Carrey doing drama, and he's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, how is it called? I forget about the names, but the one there is really, really sad movie with Jim Carrey, and it's amazing. It's like he does it like beautiful.
Mm, I'm trying
Eternal
to.
Sunshine.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Jack. That's Jack's
It's my
One of
favorite
the,
favorite
movie of
movie.
all time.
It
like
is.
I cried like a baby. And then I watched The Mask, or I watched those stupid movies, and I laugh my balls out. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the exact same. That movie, yeah, it makes you feel something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
So stepping aside a bit from like your acting,
Mm.
like you said, my one of my questions was your hobbies, but like you said, you do music and all that. So I was just wondering what type of music you actually into, because us three are into different types of genres, 100%. So I was just wondering what yours was.
That is, I've changed a lot as well. So I kind of have it like this timeline. I was a reggae guy for my teenage years. I listened to reggae a lot, all types of reggae, from Bob Marley to I don't know, Groundation to Gentleman, I don't know, everything. And I had a band. I had a reggae band, reggae ska band. So
Oh, nice.
that's how I kind of started in the music thing. I learned to play guitar when I was 13, started learning, but then I self-learned all I know. So I had 1 year of classes, and then I quit and I started learning with my friends and playing around and just that guitar. And then I just got into this reggae band with some guys I just met, and it was like I was a fan of them before I got in. It was
Yeah.
Oh
really
wow.
crazy, but it was really crazy because I didn't quite know how it happened. I was listening to this demo a friend of mine brought me over, and it was this reggae demo. I was listening to it in the car like in loop, and then a friend of mine was playing with these guys, and he invited me to go. And I never played live in my life, and I just like with a reggae band with 8 members, like drums and guitars and horns and everything. And we were like playing on festivals around Portugal. We played a lot live. We had an album. We have an album. I think it's not on Spotify, but it's on YouTube. You can find some music. It's called Quais Kitir. Quais Kitir. It's like an Egyptian expression that means cool, I think.
Oh, nice.
So it
I'm
was like
gonna look that up
teenage.
after this.
We have to check it out. It's kind of old. It's like we recorded it in 2008, I think,
Well,
or seven.
if you send me a link after this,
Okay.
we'll put it on the
Yeah.
YouTube videos. Then anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah, it was like we were kids. We were like 18 years old playing reggae and just writing reggae songs about stupid stuff. And that was it. And playing around the whole country and going to the beach and surfing and playing reggae. This was like the first experience I had with music, and it was amazing. Then the band went apart. We split up. And then a few years later, some of the guys that were in this band, we kind of formed another one with another friend that invited us over, and we started playing on the streets, and it was like kind of folkish folk
Yeah.
band. We had like a double bass, we had a banjo. We didn't have a banjo in that time, but we had guitars and everything. And then we just formed the band because everyone was starting noticing us. We had 2 videos on YouTube that went viral, playing on the street on a really nice spot here in Lisbon. And it was amazing because we went to the streets with 2 trumpets and 1 saxophone, double bass, guitar, and I was playing cajon and some percussions at the time. And we would do a show on the street, and everyone would go crazy. And we started doing originals, and by the time we knew, we didn't have an album, and we were playing here and in London. We played in London in the Hard Rock Calling Festival. Do you know about that
Oh,
festival?
okay.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Hard Rock Calling, and it goes on Hyde Park. We just won this hard rock band competition, worldwide competition from hard rock that happened here in 2012. We won it. We didn't won it. We went up on second place,
Yeah.
and that got us to London to play, and that's how we started this band. And then we just from that year on, we played on every festival that you can mention here in Portugal. Like we played on Nós Alive, we played on Paredes de Cora, we played on Vodafone Mesh Fest, we played on everything. In Boom Festival, we played there. I
Yeah.
mean, it was crazy, but we didn't had anything recorded. We didn't had any physical album to show people, so we kind of lost the train. It
Okay.
was a bad decision. We kind of got ahead of ourselves, and then when we released the album in 2014, the buzz was already going down, and so we did a lot of small rooms here, small theaters, but we couldn't never got it sold out. And then, but yeah, we got some like fans. We have a lot of fans still, but unfortunately, the band split up. Like 2 years ago, we did the last gig,
Mm.
and it was called Brass Wires Orchestra. Let me just grab something to show you guys because we have this one is on Spotify. This is the album. This is the second one. So we have two albums published, and they are on Spotify's Brass Wires Orchestra. I'll give you the link.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
pretty much my experience around music. I had those two amazing experiences in my life, but they are over, and now I'm starting to do some stuff with my girlfriend. She's a singer as well. So she's starting to write some lyrics during quarantine. And I started composing some songs and we just put those together and we are creating something.
So
So
the
Nice.
music's still a big part of your life then. Apart from the acting, the
yeah,
music's still a big part.
yeah, definitely for sure. I mean, look at this. I'll show you. I mean, it's
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have the banjo there, I have the guitar, the cajon, I have the stuff. And yeah, and a lot of stuff there. And so yeah, I'm kind of starting. I'm like an amateur in music and I mean in producing and recording.
Yeah.
But I kind of play since I can remember, play the guitar and I sing. I love it.
Yeah,
And if
we'll shortly listen to it. We're looking forward to it.
yeah, you will love it. I think Breastwires Orchestra was a amazing project. Amazing. It was amazing. I'm really, really. It's a shame that it ended. Maybe someday we will get back again, but it was really a shame because the music was really good and the vibe was amazing, and I mean, it was the most amazing years I think of my life so far because it was really special.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely music will always be a part of my life, and I mean the two go side by side, acting and
Okay.
music, obviously.
Mm.
Mm.
So this is how many questions do you want to do, boys? I've got one left now. It's up to you two. How many you want
Just
to do?
I've got two
yeah,
left. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm cool.
Okay, cool. Right, Jack, your turn, mate. Go for it.
Right. What is the audition process like in acting? Is it how do you say it? Is it harder to audition or I forgot my question. Sorry. I meant to say I meant to say, what's the audition process like?
Hmm.
Do you get the script or do you get something and then you've got to study it
Hmm.
and then you go in and audition?
It depends. It depends on what you're auditioning for. I've done auditions for theater where you get to do something, but that's not a part of the play they're gonna have. I mean, they just tell you to bring something, and you go to the stage and you do it. Sometimes they give you this scene, but maybe the scene is from another play they did last year, and they're just using the scene for to see your acting because it's a good scene to show acting skills. That's in theater, but I don't. You here in Portugal, you don't get to audition that much for theater because there are not that many companies that go and find actors like that.
Right.
They already work with the same actors almost every time, and sometimes they call someone that is not part of the company or the group. but they call someone by reverence or because they know their work. It's a small market. Everyone knows everyone. So the auditions for theater, I did it once because they were looking for someone. They didn't want anyone famous and known. So they wanted a new face, and they were auditioned for that purpose because they wanted someone that they didn't knew about or they haven't heard of. I did it, and I got the part, and but it was like a small part, and I mean, yeah, for the bigger ones, my father doesn't audition almost never because I mean, if there's a movie where they wanted to do this big character, they will do it because they want to see other good actors playing the same part and see who fits the best on their idea. But on movies, normally you get a scene from the movie. Normally, it's like a key scene where you get to see where that actor can go with that scene, and you can get an idea of what you will get on the shooting day. So yeah, it's kind of hard. Sometimes you gotta, yeah, I mean, you gotta prepare more for the audition than for the actual shooting day. But
Yeah.
because you're maybe you will be giving ideas to the director that he haven't thought about. Maybe you're doing something in the audition that he didn't imagine. He had an idea of that scene, but then you interpret it that some other way, and he goes like, "Ah, oh yeah, this could be it. This guy's amazing. Yeah, let's pick him." So yeah, it's kind of it's like some luck mixed with hard work and getting it right.
Yeah.
And then what else? TV. Normally you get to do a casting, but it's like they just want to get over it and fast. So go on, tell your scene. They are just more. They are looking at the way you interact with the camera or with the partner you're doing the scene with the set. So TV is different because you have to know where the camera is, so you can get your best shot into that camera, so you know when to speak or so you know when to look. So they look for those skills as well when they do casting there.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's really interesting. 'Cause, like, I don't know if what it was like compared to Portugal and England casting at all, but
But I can tell you that is different from what you guys maybe do there, and in other parts of Europe where the market is bigger because when you got, I mean, we're like, I don't know, we're 11 million people here in Portugal. In England, I don't know,
it's I don't
population
know for certain, but it's a lot more.
60 million, 60 million something, 60
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
So it's like six times more. So you got like six times more actors that need a job, and you got six times more offers,
Yeah.
job offers for those actors. So you got to look for them. You cannot know everyone. You don't know everyone. So you want someone particularly for that role, you have to go and watch like 200 guys doing it, and then you will find someone, and then you will eventually get down to three guys doing it, and then you'll pick the one that you want to do, and then you'll get to see the guy doing it with the girl that is already chosen for that part, to see how they interact. So it's a longer process, but here I don't think it applies because I don't know. I don't want to be talking more about the negative parts of this market, but of our market. But recently, I will share just little story because it's cool and it's interesting.
Absolutely.
I did this auditioning process for a play here. It's an English play. It's called The Play That Goes Wrong. It's like a big blockbuster there in West End and in Broadway and off Broadway and everything.
Hmm.
Called The Play That Goes Wrong. It's a play all about stuff that goes wrong inside a play. So there are actors playing some play, and everything goes wrong. The set falls down. They got hurt. Someone faints during the play. They forgot the lines. Everything goes wrong. It's amazing comedy, and it's like 6 years showing on West End now for 6 years.
Wow.
So the original director from London came over to Portugal to supervise the auditioning process. So she wanted to choose the actors to do it here. So it's a franchising, not an original play. So they bought the rights to do it here. So she came along. So the auditioning process was kind of like it is in London and West End. You got to get 3 days of auditioning, not one. So you have to prepare a scene for day one. They give you a scene, you just have to read it. And then if they like what they see or what you read, they will give you some other scene on the fly and you will do it. And then they will wait. They say, okay, go on. They will wait. And at the end of the day, they'll tell you, come on next day or don't come on the next day. So I went through phase one. I went to the second day. It was more intensive, more improvising, more stuff. And then I got chosen for day three, and then more and more. So you got like the group is forming itself, but we are all auditioning with each other, doing the scenes with each other, and it's like a day long auditioning. So this is amazing. It's like kind of a workshop
Yeah.
around a play. So this is more I don't know. It's more fair to see the actor's skills
Yeah.
because when you audition, you got one shot to do the scene. And if you're not feeling that confident or if you're not in the mood or whatever, it doesn't go the way you want it, you lose the opportunity. This way,
Right. Okay.
you got a lot of opportunities to show and a lot of ways to show what your skills are. And it's more fair and it's more fun.
Hmm.
And I got the part actually.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, so I end up not doing it, but that's another story.
Uh,
Right. So, Callum, it's yours now, isn't it, mate?
yeah. So, what's your favorite genre of like actors? So, like comedy, action, romance, etc. What's your favorite one to do?
To
Yeah.
act.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I don't know. It's definitely I'm not as good as in drama. I think that I am in comedy or in light stuff. I don't know why, but it's kind of maybe it's like part of my process that I didn't got to yet.
Mm.
Because as an actor, you're always growing up. You're always evolving. Always, always, always. You're never. I, I don't think I will ever consider myself an actor. You know,
Okay.
I'm always a becoming actor. I don't know how to explain this because every experience in my life adds up skills that to my art or to my performance. So I never did a lot of drama. I'm not that good at crying and that kind of emotion. I don't know why. Maybe because in my learning years and when I was in the university and studying theater, I didn't went that deep on that part. Maybe because you have to learn it, you have to develop it. So you do a lot of exercises and stuff on school to find out your emotions,
Yeah.
how to express them and where they are and what they are, and that's really cool. That's like the rehearsal process on a movie or a play, so you get to experience what it feels like to be in that character. So when we are in school we have to go deep 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 to those places, and maybe I didn't explore that much the sadness in me. So I'm like a light actor. I like the funny stuff. I think I'm good at it or better than the other stuff, and I like to do it. But I think maybe someday will come to the day that I will have to do a like really really dense and heavy character, and I will dig into it and I will do it. And I
Mm.
will love it too.
Nice.
I always think
Sounds good.
comedy is the hardest to do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone says it otherwise. Everyone says the comedy is really hard because comedy requires timing and you have to have a real big notion of times and rhythm. I think music helps me a lot in that because you feel it when you're on stage and you have to get the show going and get the energy flowing. That's comedy. You never drop you can never drop the ball. You always have to get the ball here.
Yeah.
So it requires a timing and notion of, oh, okay, now the time now to make someone laugh. It's like it's about this. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to get
Yeah.
the hang of it. But I don't know. I was a clown all my life. I was always doing stupid stuff on school. I would get kicked out of class because I was doing funny stuff on teacher's back. I was always that guy. So I don't know. Maybe it's easier for me to express myself that way.
Oh, fine. So my last one is: Do you know, like, obviously, I just curious, like, because with lockdown and quarantine, it's been, I can imagine, impossible to try and auditions for roles and stuff. How's it been like now when it's starting to get ease? When it's starting to ease, is there more like, is there a lot of like auditions or is just like minimum? How's it been like now?
No, it's not getting better. I mean, I was doing a lot of stuff. I was like, I think on the better point of my career so far. As I said, I'm 10 years on this, like, and it takes time to get to a certain point. Even here, that everyone knows everyone, you need time to get there. To know that the guys that are doing stuff now, the young directors. I've done a lot of short movies with guys that were leaving school, directing school, and cinema school, and that now are directing soap operas and call me over. So it takes time to build this network here.
Mm.
So you don't get a lot of auditions. You need to get an agency, but the agency doesn't do anything for you. So there and on the States and everywhere else, you need to have an agent to work
Yeah,
as an actor.
Yeah.
You need to be on the sindicato, no, sindicalizado, on the syndicate.
yeah,
You have to be part of the union. You have to be part of an agency so you can work. Here, you don't have. I don't have a professional card that says that I'm an actor because I don't think that acting is even considered a job here. So you don't get a lot of auditions. You get to talk to people that can be interested in having you on their project, and now it's even harder because the ones who were like at the certain level doing stuff, like young directors, young producers, they were starting to do their own stuff. They are not doing anything, or they are doing less than they were, and only the big ones are doing stuff. Only like the TV soap operas and the national theaters and the big directors that got funding from the state are doing stuff. And I got a part in that world, but I was growing. I was getting bigger in that kind of world,
yeah,
but now it stopped a little bit. So for someone who's under me in terms of that road I did, it's getting worse. For me, it's, I mean, I don't have a lot of work to do now. I'm kind of on vacation. I have some voiceovers. I do cartoon voiceovers.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
So that kept on. I'm doing some stuff for Disney Channel.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. It's one of the things I love to do too, and it's always like it goes along with the other stuff because it's pretty relaxed. I go there once a week. I do some episodes, and then I'm free. And that is still going on. I had a soap opera to finish that got stopped because of the lockdown. Now they are back again, and I did it. I had
Oh, good.
3 days to shoot with them. It's a new soap opera for TV, fourth channel, and that's it. So, but there's a lot of stuff starting now, but I think they will privilege the actors that already have work always.
mm.
So the
Yeah,
same ones that do the soap operas all the time are the ones that are going on doing it. And the other ones that went there sometimes, and it was my case a little bit, are going there less times than they were. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But let's hope it will change. I think so.
yeah.
Mm.
And
So
I always have a plan B. It's going pick up the guitar and going to the street and play.
I was just going to say,
you're always sorted.
you've always got the music to fall back on.
Yeah, yeah, I can get. We did get a lot of money playing on the street with brass wires. Some days we get 500 euros like in
Wow.
3 hours.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, we did. With the tourists here in Lisbon. Woohoo!
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
absolutely.
Right. So you two have got two left. So steal the show with your questions, boys. Go on.
Yeah.
Right. Go
Go
on,
on,
Jack.
Calvin. You go.
I've just asked one, so it's you now.
Oh, have
Yeah.
you?
Don't fight, girl. Don't fight.
I'll close on this one actually. What's your favorite movie?
You do those.
Yeah, I always like to ask that just when you
Like,
go to an
because
actor.
I cannot make up my mind about anything. I'm like the most indecisive guy
Yeah.
ever. And I don't know. My favorite movie actually is one that I have prepared for all the interviews I gave,
Excellent.
Oh.
because it's easy. It's the same one still, I think, and it's an Italian movie. I just love that movie. I've watched it like 10 times. It's called in English. It's called The Best of Youth. It's called La Meglio Juventud. It's an Italian movie. I think it's from 2004 or five, around that time. And it tells the story of an Italian family starting in the 60s and going up to the 2000s. And it's just that. It's just a simple movie about a simple, normal family that goes with alongside with them for 50 years of their lives. And it's amazing because I relate to that family a lot. And I bet everyone relates somehow to that family because it's the story of two brothers in the 60s, and they are two normal guys, and we just watch them grow old with their parents and with their friends, and it's amazing. It's, by the way, I have to say, it's two parts, 3 hours each part, so it's a 6 hour book. Okay.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's Italian, that isn't it? Italians always
Yeah.
do the really, really long movies.
Yeah, it's from a guy named Marco Giulio Giordana. Marco Tullio Giordana. Check it out. It's amazing. The actors are just amazing. The script is amazing. The directing is amazing. The photography is amazing.
I've started it to my list now.
Okay.
Very
So,
long list you
yeah,
have to.
yeah, it's really long. Yeah.
Right. Go on, Callum.
Right. So this is one I always like to ask as well. When you're, out at a bar at a friend's, what's your favorite drink?
What's my favorite drink?
The one drink you'll always go for if you're out with friends.
Alcohol or non-alcoholic? Doesn't
Your
matter.
choice. Your choice.
Do both
Actually,
if you want.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
both. I'm not an alcohol guy. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I don't know. I don't like the flavor, maybe.
Yeah.
So normally when it is to get drunk fast, I always drink tequila. Uh,
Yeah.
that's
Good
my
choice.
favorite shot. That's my favorite shot. It's like, okay, it's to get wasted. Let's go. Three,
Yeah.
three shots of tequila and I'm done. I like gin and tonic. It's the thing. I like sweet drinks. I don't know. I'm
Mm.
kind. I like gin and tonic, and I don't like beer. I like wine. I
Okay.
I don't drink beer almost never.
Nah, I don't.
And yeah, that's it. And I like every kind of fruit juice, natural fruit juice that I can get my hands on. I always do one in the morning every day.
Nice.
Good
Orange,
choice.
banana, strawberries, whatever. I
Yeah.
love it.
I th- I think we're all quite the same as well with the alcohol. We don't we'll drink to get drunk with friends or something, but we won't drink like just to be on our own having like an alcoholic drink. I think yeah.
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 I mean, it's kind of cool to get home late after work and grab yourself a glass of wine and stay by the
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
That's a cool picture. But normally when I do that, I go like two sips and that's it.
You're
Because
done. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
yeah, my
So
girlfriend drinks a lot of beer, but yeah, it compensates for me.
The Portuguese beer is pretty nice. That Superbox
Yeah,
stuff's
yeah,
good, I'll be honest with you. Yeah. And I'm not a big beer
cool.
drinker myself, but when I was over with Tiago, he got me on it. It was really nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
right. So has anybody got anything else, or are we all done?
No, I think that's it, Jack.
No.
Yeah,
Right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much then for
That's
coming
it.
on.
Yeah.
nice.
Cheers.
I
Podcast
talk
Thank you very
a
like
lot,
these.
much.
so you have a lot of
Fantastic.
material.
Right. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it. You'll have all the links that Afonso talked about obviously on our video. So, prior to that, Callum, sign us off, mate.
Make sure to leave a like on the video, comment down below what you want to see, and check out links in the description. We'll see you later.